Hello there everyone, my name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to a reading vlog. I'm back at vlogging, and this reading vlog has been in my head for a little while because my mom came to visit yet again, which was great, and she brought with her two books that I'm going to read with you for this vlog. As you can tell from the title, this is a thriller reading vlog. As you can see, if you watch my wrap-ups, my crafty reads, or if you've seen my One Last Try series, I have really struggled when it comes to thrillers because so many of the domestic thrillers that are really popular right now just don't work for me. I just don't like them. And I decided, you know what? I want to go back to my thriller loving roots. Ooh. I want to go back to my thriller loving roots and go to two tried and true authors to get me back in the thriller groove. And those two books are The Darkest Hours by Michael Connelly and Girl Forgotten by Karen Slaughter. These are two authors that have been wins for me on multiple different occasions. I have a Michael Connelly collection down there. This is the one I've started with, by the way. I just wanted to, I started off this morning, and it's already gripping. It's following a detective who is who's going to be investigating a certain case, and it comes up that ex-LAPD legend Harry Bosch is one of his, it's linked to one of his cold cases. So we're going to see Harry Bosch, which is Michael Connelly's main protagonist. So we're following him. And then in Girl Forgotten, let's see, let's read together. Longville Beach, 1982. Emily Vaughn gets ready for a prom night, the highlight of any high school experience. But Emily has a secret, and by the end of the evening, she will be dead. And then it says, 40 years later, Emily's murder remains unsolved. Her friends closed ranks, her family retreated inwards, and the community moved on. But that's all about to change. Okay, I'm not going to read anymore. It's probably going to be gory. It's probably going to be gross. But I think they are both going to be really good. I am already dived into this one, and what's very interesting about it is that it's set during the pandemic, so it does talk about the George Floyd protests, and the cops that were involved in that. It talks about the pandemic. It is set we enter the story on New Year's Eve in 2020, so I've not read a thriller that's actually in the pandemic, so that's going to be very interesting. So yes, you're going to come along with me. We're going to read some good old thrillers, and we're going to have a fucking good time. Let's go. Hello there. You are going to chill with me while I get ready for my adventures. I was going to go with more of granny sweater kind of vibe, but it's quite warm today, which is really nice. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Hot Bay, so I'm going to take a sweater with me. But you're on the book I want to talk about. One moment. There we go. So, this is how I dry my hair. I don't own a hairdryer. I have been reading The Dark Hours by Michael Connelly, and my reading slump, she's over, buddy. She is over. I am almost halfway, and I only... Okay, that's crack. That is crack. I'm nearly halfway, and I'm really liking the fact that we've got a dual crime going on here. So, Ballard, the police officer that we are following, has a case that happened which is linked to an old case, which is what she's talking to Harry Bosch about. So it's really nice seeing him again. We always seem to see him through the eyes of a younger woman that he was some kind of involved with. I don't know if they were, because I have missed some of his recent ones. But anyway, he's there. They're trying to sort that out. But at the same time, she's trying to solve this series of rapes that is happening, where there's a tag team. There's two guys that are breaking in, taping masks over these women's faces, raping them and then leaving. And this has happened on multiple different occasions now. So we've got those two cases that are going side by side. And I really do like the police procedural part of this, because I really just don't jibe with those domestic ones when it's all like, it's always the husband and the wife keeping secrets, you know? And it can be written in a good way, but like I've had so many duds recently that I just like getting into the nitty gritty and seeing the problem solving. The problem solving is the part that I find really fun. And this is delivering. And of course, as with all Michael Connelly's books, we are against the backdrop of LA. Which I feel I know more about the layout and like street names and all the things like that in LA because of Michael Connelly's books, more than any other medium that I've heard about LA. But yeah, I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to go to the Dog Rehome a Book, 10 Rand bookstore. I don't know what their selection is going to be like, but I'm going to go there nonetheless, and then I'm going to go to a coffee place and read while I drink a nice cup of Hout Bay roasted coffee. And yeah, I'm going to show you some pretty things along the way. Come along with me. So I put a little makeup on because I haven't done that in a while. She cute. I've ordered a croissant and jam and cream and a oat milk cappuccino, and I just have to show you how cute it is in here. It's like all mismatched and like old wood and stuff. It's really a vibe. So I'm going to eat, read my book, drink my coffee, and then head back home. I went to that bookstore, but yeah, it was very much like all of the, where all like certain authors go to die. It was that kind of vibe. This is so beautiful. I had to stop. I don't usually stop on this road, but I decided that I'm taking the time. I am stopping because it's just sea as far as the eye can see. It's incredible. Good morning. I'm reading The Dark Hours. I am halfway now. And I just wanted to say that I really like how it's very topical. So it's at the end of it's at the very beginning of 2021. So we've got like COVID still happening. The vaccines still haven't been like rolled out to everybody. I mean, Ballard forcibly takes Harry Bosch to go get his vaccine because he was putting it off. I was like, oh, I have a person in my life that I'd like to do that with, even now. Anyway, but yeah, it's very topical as well because it's obviously got the whole Black Lives Matter thing. So it's talking about the fact that there's a lot of defunding happening, but it doesn't show policemen in like a, what is the word? They're not like the be all and end all, you know, and that happens a lot in these things. A lot of the time, the cop that you're following is like a decent cop, or they're just very work focused and very determined. That's how like most of Michael Connelly's like he writes from a cop, his main characters. Oh, one is a cop or a private investigator later on. One is a lawyer, a defense lawyer, and the other one is a journalist, and they're all like obsessive about their jobs, like to the point where like their personal lives are affected and things like that. but there's definitely a cop in here that something happens where he literally chooses trying to protect the department over actually helping solve a certain crime. So it shows, yeah, like a level of corruption within the police and trying to hide things, which I think is very topical, and I thought it was interesting. Good evening, friends. Excuse the lighting. I don't usually... That's better. I don't usually film when I go to bed because of the lighting situation, but because this is where I do 50% of my reading, excuse me, I got the hiccups, I thought I would chat here. So, weep! First things first, done my skincare, nighttime meds. And I just spill that all over myself. Smooth. And we light the scented candle. This is lemon. It's from H&M. It's not the strongest, must admit. There we go. And tonight I'm going to be finishing The Dark Hours. We've sort of come to the conclusion of one of the stories, and then oh, you hear my knees. So we come to the conclusion of one of the plot points, which was interesting. But now we're sort of in limbo with, like, it's just heading up to the peak right now, like the peak of the action. It's coming. We're like just building to that now, and usually Michael Connelly will build to it, a little bit of a explanatory, like, fading out, and then he wraps it up. And then hopefully tomorrow I can start, is it Girl Forgotten? Is that what it's called? All of these fucking thrillers with girl in the name. Like, I showed my brother these two books because he likes both these thriller authors, and he was like, oh, did Karen Slaughter have to do the thing with girl in the title again? And I was like, I know, right? And he's not even like in the book community. But he knows about the stereotypes. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm glad I picked it up. It's really pulled me out of my reading slump. And now I'm just gonna finish it. I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, I'm only 27 pages in, but Karen Slaughter can do one thing. Karen Slaughter loves to get you invested in a character that you know is gonna fucking die. So, like, the first chapter, she always does this, is she uses the first chapter to, like, introduce, you know, obviously, like, sort of the basis. And in a lot of cases, she shows you the character that she's about to gruesomely fucking murder, and you're like, she's very good at that. But then she comes up with these lines like, okay, this is 26 pages in, so it's not really a spoiler or anything, but if you don't want to know absolutely anything about this book, then skip ahead 10 seconds or 30 seconds. But she says that she kept it hidden. So Andrea is our main character. She's just training for the marshal service. She's just qualified. And she says, hidden for 31 years, that Andrea's biological father was a psychopathic cult leader bent on mass murder. Just drop that in there. Just sprinkle. I would sprinkle, but sprinkle a little bit of that in there. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I'm already intrigued. Hell yeah, Karen Slaughter. I need to briefly interrupt this reading of Girl Forgotten because I realized that I just went straight from one vlog to the other, and I started editing this and I realized I didn't tell you what I thought about the ending of The Dark Hours. So, which I think I've been calling The Darkest Hours. My bad. So yeah, like I said in the last clip where I talked about it, we were ramping up to like the big action, and the big action did happen. But then there was a little like secondary little part, because there was, it's hard to describe without getting spoilery. But there was another dimension to this rape case than we suspected. And there's also a lot of tension between Ballard and the actual like police department and the way it's run and the people that she has to work with and things like that. So we've got like that sort of like inside thing going on, which is very common in Michael Connelly's books. And then we had like a multi-layered kind of climax and like reveal, which was sinister, but it was good. It was just one of those like really easy to read, like tried and true thrillers for me that like hit the spot. Yeah, so I recommend it. Now we'll get back to the Karen Slaughter. Hey there. It has been 2 days since I It's been 2 days since I updated this vlog because I had a little mental health wobble. It was just like 2 days long, but I'm back now. I managed to exercise today, I managed to shower, I managed to do 2 articles. So yeah, just in time for Friday for me to do 2 more articles tomorrow, and then yeah, hopefully I should be all sorted. But I wanted to catch you up on Girl Forgotten by Karen Slaughter because I'm really enjoying this one. I didn't know if this one was going to be a domestic one because she does write domestics sometimes, but it's not. It's like a really cool mix. So we're with Andrea in the present. She's the marshal who's looking after this judge who's getting death threats. So she's got her partner Bible, who they are tasked with, you know, being the one shift when they look after the judge. They're not technically there to solve what's happening, but you can tell that Bible is really would like to figure out what this is, so that the judge isn't a threat anymore. And then we go into the past where we've got Emily Vaughan. And so right at the beginning of the book, we see her death, because that's obviously what the whole book is about, who killed Emily Vaughan. And I thought that was just going to be because Karen Slaughter does that a lot. She'll go into the past and then she'll come into the present and it'll link up somehow. But this will alternate chapters with the past and the present. So Emily is the judge's daughter, the judge who we are in the present time with. Emily is her daughter. There is a potential that Andrea could be linked somehow in this family, but I don't want to say too much because it might, I keep on having to stop myself because I don't want to spoil anything, because I'm really enjoying this. I'm just really liking having the 2 different timelines and the 2 different cases that are kind of linked, and seeing, because this is in quite a small town, so some of the characters that you see in the past in the 80s, you'll see now as old men or grown-ups basically, which is very interesting to see how they've changed and what their story was to do with Emily's whole case and everything like that. It is very interesting to see the way they do a switcheroo to try and get themselves out of trouble. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I am going to be reading more of it tomorrow and the next day, but hopefully I will finish it by the weekend and then I'll let you know. But so far, this vlog is going well. I'm just going to be watching YouTube videos while I do this, not reading, but I want to show you the dinner I made for myself. White wine, lemon, garlic butter, mussels. Look how much there is. There's a lot. And to bring out my big bowl, I'm very proud of myself. I'm excited. I'm watching Gabby doing a thriller reading vlog, so I felt like I had to vlog. I've got my heater. Hugo's got a chewy toy for his teeth. And I am crocheting. It's Friday. I got to Friday. Even with my little mental health wobble, I managed to get all of my articles for the week done. I also managed to get a lot of reading done. Like, it didn't hit me in any kind of slump. So I'm excited to get into bed tonight, read a bunch of Girl Forgotten, read a ton of it tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm also filming a crafty reads. Because I've read another 5 books. It's going to be a weird one to do a wrap-up for because I didn't like a lot of the books that I read, and I was finding it very hard to engage with them because I was in my reading slump. So it shouldn't be too long. But yeah, this weekend I'm definitely dedicating to reading for sure. Hello friends, before she escapes, I want to show you that I bought Abby a collar today. Look how cute it is! Little emo studded collar, and she's got a little fish with her name on, huh? Yeah. Oh, my beautiful girl. You can go back to sleep now. Thank you. So today, what did I just drop? Oh yeah. Today I started reading and I was going to film myself, and then Abby got onto my lap in the strangest position ever. And I couldn't talk to you about the book. So earlier I went to Chinatown, I bought her collar, and I bought these socks. They're like psychotic cat socks. But I needed to, I need to go over 50 rand so that I could pay for the collar with my card. So I bought funny socks, and they feel really comfy as well. So I'm excited about them. But I wanted to talk about Girl Forgotten because I'm nearly done, very nearly done. We got a crazy twist that I was like, what, are you fucking joking? And now, like, the action is really pumping up, but like, she's delaying it, and it's making the tension so good, like so good. I really wish that there was more, because the thing is that Andrea has this really complicated past because of, and she's been in the witness protection program, and her history, I would read a book all about Andrea's history, and I thought that maybe we would get a little bit more into it, but you only get like the periphery, but it also gives Andrea so much depth. That's the thing, is that because we're seeing Andrea now, and then Emily then, who's trying to figure out whose baby she's having, and trying to navigate her way through the world now as a pregnant teen. And those characters in both storylines, you know, they're teenagers in Emily's timeline, and then in Andrea's timeline, they're fully grown adults. And seeing that development and how they've changed and how they've stayed the same gives the characters so much depth. And it's so freaking enjoyable, and it makes you really fucking hate some of those characters, like with a passion. And she does it so well. Like, it's page turning. Like, some of her books I find a little bit lackluster, and this is not one of them. This is definitely not one of them. Like, it's really well paced. There's like big dramatic moments and some slower investigative moments, and I just think it's really well done. So my plan now is to go and buy some snacks, make myself a cup of coffee, and finish the last 30 pages of this. That's the plan. Camera's not meant to be facing this way, but look at how cute my string of banana plants looks in this corner. It looks so adorable. Hi. Okay, I am back. I am back, and it is time to make cozy and read. So, mocha pot coffee. I just started making mocha pot coffee. If you see my latest vlogs, I did an aesthetic make coffee with me section of my vlog, because it's so nice. I usually only drink instant coffee, and I don't have a plunger or anything. And then my mom bought this mocha pot for herself back in the UK, and she's got a gas burner, and the little spider legs are too far apart for this base, so she's gonna buy herself a bigger one. And I got this one, so I'm excited. I'm just trying the House of Coffee's Wiener Mischung. I don't know how to say it, but I'm trying to try out different types of coffees, to try and learn a little bit more about them, see what my taste is like. I have burnt it a couple of times, but now I try and like sit here and watch it. And then, as I said, I'm like very obsessed with crochet, so I haven't weaved in these ends, but I made a little pot holder for the mocha pot to sit on so it doesn't damage my countertops. I was very proud of myself for that. So, coffee is on its way. Okay. So snacks. I got myself some yum stuff for lunch, because I want to do feta and mushrooms and tomatoes on bread, obviously. So my favorite snacks at the moment, I got a Sprite, because I love cola tonic and lemonade, and I have cola tonic in my cupboard, so I've got to have the Sprite. Then my favorite sour treat, I freaking love sour shit, is these Manhattan sour beans. Oh my god, I love them. They're so good. So those are a must. And then another thing that I'm obsessed with, Smarties mini eggs. I love these things. They're so freaking good. And then just at the checkout, which is like really dangerous, they have like limited edition crunchy things, but like in these slabs, like they had these types of things, but only like a massive slab, so I never tried it. Now they're in little slabs. So yeah, I have snacks, I have coffee, time to read. Well, hot dang, she did it again. It didn't end in the way that I was expecting, but at the same time, I was like, this seems like it's going to be too easy. There needs to be something else that's going to happen here, and it did. I managed to guess the last twist just before they revealed it. Just before. I was like, wait a second, what if this person and this person... And then I was right. But I don't think it happened... If it happened earlier in the story, I would have been disappointed, but I think it almost... She puts in enough context clues that when you get it, you're like, hey, I've been paying attention, you know? And then you saw my reaction. That was like 2 pages from the end. And I double checked. And even though there was that thing right at the end of the book, that little teaser of a little thing, this is a standalone. I was like, no, maybe this is another series of hers, because, oh my God, this main character, I feel like there's so much about her. Like, she managed to fit so much history into this character without giving you her whole background. And I really would have loved to read the next book in this, but there's not going to be one. So, gosh darn it. But as usual, Karen's daughter fucking nailed it. And that's the end of my thriller reading vlog. This was the perfect way to bring me out of my reading slump, and to cure my my thriller issues that I've been having recently. Both of these books were really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed this vlog. So thank you for coming along with me. I hope you did enjoy them. I hope you pick up either of these books. Let me know if you're a Karen Slaughter or Michael Connolly fan. I know there's definitely a lot of Karen Slaughter fans on BookTube, but I don't hear many people talking about Michael Connolly. So if you do like him, let me know down below. If you'd like to support my channel, you can go to the link and give me a one-time donation and buy me a coffee, or you can just like, comment, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. And I'll check you next time.